see it a lot with celebrities, how they may be, you know, soon as you see that they get initiated into the order or whatever, uh, then somebody close to them, you know, takes a dive, so whatever you want to say it. So I don't know. I guess they feel like, whatever. I'm not even gonna speculate. But yeah, back to this because I know I know according to them at one point I was labeled as one of these, and during the years I have grown to overstand it and subvert it so that and then I overcame it so that what I'm saying. But that's basically that some people are really bred from birth to be sacrifices for them. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't necessarily have to go down that way. Now, one of my now there's another cousin I had that's his body's now deceased, but I know his spirit lives on somewhere. Me and him had similar personal lives, like just a lot of things. He was dropped on his head as a child to try to retard his mental abilities. I had my head cracked open right here as a child, like cracked open as a child, and but I recovered fine from it. Um, you know what I'm saying? I recovered fine from it, and then again, still as a child in the fifth grade, I had my head pushed up against a brick wall, and even suffered a concussion from that at the time. But then I recovered fine from that as well. So I mean, it could have been like two sides battling out for what they were gonna do to me or something, or however it goes down. I'm not really sure. Now I'm not saying my cousin was retarded. He wasn't like retarded or nothing. He still had his still had his he was still a normal person. But I'm just looking at the attempts to try to you know damage our life, our livelihood, or degrade our lives to a point. Like, that's the whole agenda of what they have for people who they declare to be their sacrifices, and not the aborted baby sacrifices. He's talking about the ones that they let live to a certain age and then yakety yak. So maybe there's something to do with something else. I don't know. Other similarities we had. He was the middle of three, and I'm the middle of five. So a while before he died in his 20s. But a while before he died, he was suspected, not really accused, but just suspected, and it was insinuated that he was had some dealings in child molestation or something. And I had similar issues that I had to deal with that in my teens. So he died a virgin, and they say from I don't know where I heard it from, but from like vampire tales, they say that virgin blood is the more power blood, or you know something like that. Now I, on the other hand, I was made to feel worthless and felt like I was ugly. I was told I was ugly, my whole childhood and stuff like that. I don't think I don't really think so. Plus, I didn't lose my virginity till I was 19, so maybe it was my persistence and my resilience that made me go through this part of the program. So whatever that may have been, or maybe it was just help from higher powers or higher powers. So, but if it was higher powers, then what if these powers come from doing the same thing? Then it's really just full circle of the same stuff. But I don't know where the powers come from necessarily. I don't know if they come from vampires, werewolves, or whatever the heck it might be. Um, but you know, so it could be anybody. Anybody. It could be everybody that gets put through the test. Maybe every single body. But it seems like as though some are given an extra plight to make sure that they fail because they're built for sacrifice or whatever. Maybe some certain number maybe has to. They want a certain number to definitely fail, so they probably put them through the most crucial test. So. Also, later in life, I was told how. I mean, I heard statements on how damage to the frontal lobe of the brain or the skull or whatever, um, could cause bad decision making. And but as I realize it now, people say things like this, like something that relates to you, and they'll say, "Oh, this makes that, and this does that." And once you realize it's all bull, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, like I know my brain was sharp enough to make certain decisions, but you know, I mean, everything's questionable. But then, as you get these things thrown at you, maybe they're just thrown at you just so they want you to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Goes back to the whole belief thing. So, so let's say if that was being true, then people are if you were put into a system of tests, but all your faculties to make the good decisions have been reduced, then it's basically set up to fail. So I mean, anybody trying to use anything to justify punishment for you is kind of false. It's like would you punish somebody that was obviously you want to punish somebody that's like straight up retarded, but somebody's reduced in these abilities purposefully. Um, you know, it's a fine line. But see, they're really out for blood per se because they don't really stop there. Because then on top of that, they'll use guilt and try to instill depression into you to they try to do all this stuff, to try to make you hate your own life, make you even want to get rid of yourself. So so whether it's something that you did or something that you are, or lifestyle, or just something that you naturally are, um, it's kind of like whatever else it may be, whatever else they use to try to make you hate yourself. You know what I'm saying? It creates an environment where it's sort of like survival of the fittest, only the strong survive, and a culling of the spirits or the flesh or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, I'm not really sure what the whole purpose is. Maybe it's just just to make sure that only the strong survive. You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually how nature balances itself out. When a lion looks at a herd of whatever it's hunting, it looks for the weakest ones because the weakest ones are the easiest targets, and it's gonna be an easy meal, and it makes sure that the strong ones keep surviving. And then and when female mammals in nature they choose a mate, they're looking for the strongest ones. So it's sort of like humans. We don't, like I said, we don't have that apex predator over us anymore. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, we did, but now that we have evolved, we don't have that anymore. So if other humans are doing this job, maybe that's what this whole thing is about. I know of some people, like personally, who after I seen them, I didn't know they were going through this. I didn't know it was this system at the time, but I seen them. They used to get punked and harassed and picked on and stuff, and then eventually committed suicide. So I mean, I don't know. Is the purge actually necessary? Is it really necessary, or is it just something that we just feel we only want to be around these people. We don't want to be around certain people, and we just want to create our own environment around whatever, whatever. Or is it really necessary? Is it like some on a spiritual level? Is it like spirit building? So we're gonna build up everyone's spirit because since you never really die, what I'm saying, they might start you over in a new body. They might what I'm saying, or if your spirit gets free, then your spirit's free to do whatever it wants. But then is it sort of a spirit building phase that we live in down here, um, and or is it could just be it's a bloodlust for a thirst for power. You know what I'm saying? Like the ancient Romans. You just put them out there in the Colosseum and let them kill each other off, and you got the bloodlust. Spiritual power, or entertainment, or whatever the heck it might be. Maybe all three. Who knows? Um, see this is it's all entrapment or forcing someone into a corner to join a group, what I'm saying, under extreme or under pressure basically. and that's for all the people that do join the Illuminati or whatever. So anything that would what I'm saying, cause jail time or justify somebody to harm you, or just put you under somebody's authority or control. All these things are there to like entrap you, make you vulnerable, put you in a vulnerable position so that if you don't accept them in their ways and their methods, that then they'll try to use that against you to, try to keep people in line, spirits in line or whatever they're trying to do. Right? So basically, hanging something over your head so that you always do as they wish. And what about those that don't kill or go crazy or fight always or whatever? Um, as far as them, they may, you could say, tolerate the harassment or, but they continue their lives as long as they want or whatever. And because they avoid being vulnerable. So, well, one method that they use for those that they can't get to with the actions to get them to react, they may try to use fake diseases. Let me just clarify: all diseases are fake, but they may try to use fake diseases to get at them or punish them. So now you got people that believe in it. It's about the belief. So if people are believing that they're gonna die from this or whatever, this theatrical thing that they're putting on, then you're tricking yourself. Now you look at like Magic Johnson and Easy E. They saying they both had the supposedly had something, this made up thing called AIDS. So they said, I guess Magic went the route where he said, "Hey, well, let me find out. Let me get with these people and do what they want." So now, when the full harassment program comes onto a person, and they, what I'm saying, they're seeing people doing a bunch of strange things around them. So, anyways, when the full harassment program comes onto a person, I mean, your choices to stop it seem real slim. I don't know how long it would go on for. Um, in my case, it might have been it's been a few years, so I don't know how long it goes on for. Maybe it's until you actually do something or whatever the case may be. But if you think about it, the choices to stop it are slim. First of all, you can't stop people from harassing you if they want to, right? Unless you actually stop the person, like physically stop the person, like you kill them. Now, if it's ghosts harassing you, you can't kill a ghost. So now, how would you actually get to stop them? So obviously, killing them. I mean, first of all, you're looking at it like, okay, it's the whole world against you. So if you thought you was gonna, just kill the whole world, like, good luck with that. First of all, and who would want to do that? And you're gonna be with the last one, last person breathing. Now, there's some other ways that you could try to work it out. One is to try to work with the people, try to find mutual ground or something that y'all both can agree on to where this would stop. Make an agreement, and also you could just try to desensitize yourself to everything that they're doing, trying to do to you, and then when you desensitize yourself, then you're immune to any attacks that they have. But both of those seem like uphill battles. Some go crazy, some get that, but some go ham, just trying to fight their way out of it, fight everything, and just keep on fighting. And then some fight to the point where they even, kill, or, what I'm saying? And some of these options seem to stop the harassment for those people, at least for some time, right? It seems to stop the harassment. And, you know, without these people actually having to, pay for it with their own lives. So some of those are the options that I've seen that it'll stop people from being harassed, but who knows how their life is after that. Now, also, religion or just being a good, upstanding person may stop the harassment